Oh man. Oh, it might help if I actually like open up the stream on my other monitor, huh? I'm slow. Hold up. There we go. Now I can actually see as everyone's joining and stuff. Yo, what's up, Elixir? How you doing? Doing a few talent trees depending on. Yo, what's up, Mars? Yo, what's up, Breast? How you doing? Holy cow, some more of you guys jumping in here quicker than I thought you would. How you guys doing? Yo, what's up? What's up? Yeah, no, I figured that so for you guys that are jumping in here, if you guys want to check out the stream description, I was gonna turn the account review into an actual just like video, but I also kind of wanted to turn it more a bit like more open forum because I think that there's an opportunity to make it a bit more open discussion. I think that when it comes to reviewing accounts and talking about like, oh, do this, do that, and maybe why you should do things, my perspective is that like if you just kind of tell somebody to do something, that's one thing, and yeah, you might help them with that. But if you don't really or help them understand the concept of like the why you're having them do that, like you haven't really taught them anything. Like you need to educate somebody to the point to where they understand why they're making those decisions, to the point where they can take that information and educate somebody else. Like at that point, they've been educated enough, to understand like really the concept as to like why they're making that decision. And so I kind of wanted to convert it from just making straight up videos to maybe just taking the video series itself of account reviews and turning it into more of like a stream series or an open forum, to where I like, as I'm reviewing accounts, we can be a bit more open forum about it and we can kind of discuss it back and forth. That way, during the process, you can ask questions, we can, discuss those things. If you have any other questions of understanding why, I might be, advising certain things or whatever have you, or anything that might help you grasp the concepts on those things, I definitely want to help you like understand those parts. And that might also actually like answer some of the questions as well that other people might have that might be watching it as well too. So yeah, what's up, Special? How's it going, Linehead? How's it going, Risky? Holy cow, you guys are all just jumping in here. This was not scheduled at all, so I didn't, and it's not an event day, so I didn't really know how many people were going to be jumping in here. So I did have a couple of them lined up, two of them that were kind of stood out to me the most. For one, I'll throw this individual's YouTube into the description as well, but this was the individual that kind of advised to start this series, and this is his account here, and we'll kind of start with his as to really just like kind of moving forward and like what advise or envisions to do moving forward with his account. So his account is an infantry main account, only infantry fighters. He doesn't have, or I'm sorry, he doesn't have, I don't have awake, or the only infantry fighters I don't have awakened are Badal and Stella. Sorry, I'm still kind of waking up. I have a sick little one, so sleep has not come the easiest the last few days. A lot of family come through, and of course the little ones get sick. Leads garrison, swarm rally attacks where he can. So let's take a look. So yeah, he's purple parting it out, 139 mil. Good kill ratio. Yeah, so you can definitely tell he's infantry focused here. The old report expired when I initially asked, so I asked for a new one. So yes, he is going full infantry set here. Can I send you my arena to review? Yeah, that is what we're doing here. Going ahead for sure. Let me copy this message. I should probably just keep Google Translate up so that I can take the messages you guys are sending. And then translate them. But yeah, so what would he essentially do here? So when I take a look at these, first couple things I'll look at is your garage. It looks like he's pretty much all gold here. First thing off the rip is just get this one to gold. The first thing that you want to do with garage, if you can, is get everything to tier 3 base level 1, because it's just that's going to provide you the best firepower and protection, just off the rip. So just to kind of give you or show you an example, level 1 squad protection, level 1 you're going to get 278 squad protection or firepower as opposed to 105. Even at max level it's 266 at level 6. So level 1 tier 3 is going to be higher than max level tier 2. So if you can, you want to get everything to level 1 tier 3. So that would be the first piece of advice that I would give here. On this one, or on this account, is get this last one to tier 3 level 1. Other than that, let's take a look at your armament sets. Looks like you're doing fairly well on all of them. I can kind of see the direction you're moving here. So you've got all these 5-star for purple. Let's keep that there. Those are 5-star. So everything is 5-star purple that isn't gold, so that's good. This one is superb, so there's nothing too much you can do with that. Since everything is 5-star purpled, and you know, depending, like this is going to be kind of information for everybody else more so. Since everything is 5-star purpled, what I would do is take the normal gold ones and move these to 5-star first, because it's going to take you a while to kind of replace these ones. You're going to need at least a 3-star gold to replace a 5-star purple, basically. It's kind of the way that I look at it, because you're going to lose the extra hone slots, but you are going to have the higher hone range in terms of values that you can get. So I would replace a 5-star purple with a 3-star gold. So what I would do in this case is I would get this to 5-star, get this to 5-star, this to 5-star, this to 5-star, and this to 5-star. Then I would pretty much repeat the same process here and here. This is superb, so you can just kind of slow process that. But once you get these to 5-star up here, and once you get this to 5-star and this to 5-star, then at that point I would start working on additional pieces to maybe get a Dut up, or Miyamoto. Either one, maybe Miyamoto first because he has some gold pieces already. Then at that point start a Dut because she also has some gold pieces started, and then move into Robert. Other than that, let's take a look at your hones. Hones are looking good. You don't really have anything in terms... Yeah, I mean, you're honing well. There's nothing like in terms of like garrison and stuff on the non-pieces. I'm assuming that this is the one that you're going to have. Yeah, rally skill. Rally skill. Yeah, so see, so what I'm looking for here is like if he had a mix of, say, like rally and garrison, where in the message he said that he is a... he leads garrison and swarm rally attacks. So since there's no real mention of like the rally side of things, maybe what I would do at that point is that, let's go back to that armament set. What I would maybe do is that since you haven't mentioned that you're a rally leader, now if you are a rally leader, it's fine to keep these rally skill damage ones. However, if you're not actually like a rally leader itself and you're more on the garrison side, I would get rid of these red rally hones, because yes, they are red hones and that's nice to see, it's nice to have, it's nice power buffs, but I'm not a fan of empty power, basically. Like, in terms of like the field, these two hones aren't doing anything for you. In terms of garrison, if this is your garrison set, they're not doing anything for you either. I would either swap these to an infantry hone, so infantry squad attack or infantry squad defense or infantry lethality or infantry block, or squad lethality, squad block, squad attack, or squad defense. Something that you can use in field, in garrison, and in rallies would probably be your best bet. That way you don't even have to keep it garrison specific since you're using 5 infantry marches. In terms of like the actual field and hero pairs, these are solid. You have someone that's using the skill talent tree as a lead. That's usually what I advise. So as a general consensus for everybody, for your 5 field marches, you just want to have somebody that has a skill talent tree. So let me show you that here. So you just want to have somebody that has a skill talent tree here, this side of the tree, as your leader for all of your marches, if possible, for your field. That's going to make it to where you have the highest amount of rage regen in the field, increasing your damage output. So he has that here as well with Marco, Adut, Robert, Bodala, and Miyamoto. So that's good also. Your hero pairs are good. I would say that maybe like the only thing that I would recommend moving forward is that like Tom, Riven, and well, really Tom and Riven are your probably 2 least effective ones in the field. So over time, if you can introduce somebody like a Bianca into this mix, would be your best bet. So if you can awaken Bianca or slow awaken Bianca, and if you were to take Bianca and move her up the chains with, let me find her here. You could even go like a skill set of let me see. Yeah, go 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of skill order. You could even use her once you have skills 1 and 2 at 5, 5, 5, 5, 1, 1. But if you were to mix Bianca into this, you would have like you would miss out on a little bit of damage because of Riven, but because Bianca's doing the buff for all 5 of your marches, because Bianca is buffing the stats, she gives an AoE shield to everybody, that kind of a thing. This march goes from just kind of benefiting this single march to now benefiting all of them, and it increases the rage regen as well. So you're taking a little bit of damage output out because you're losing the damage output of Riven and the shield health, but instead you're getting more rage regen for this specific march, and then rage regen for everybody and better stats for everybody. The increase in defense does increase the shield health as well, so that does also return some of the damage that you're missing out on the shield health. So that's what I would do. That's something that would end up benefiting all the marches basically. Then I would keep her. I'm sorry, I would keep Tom, replace Tom after replacing Riven. It's harder to replace Tom because Tom actually does buff your other marches in terms of, or I'm sorry, debuff the enemy marches and then buff your marches as well. So that benefits all of them. So for infantry, like a lot of the heroes themselves, I should say, either buff your marches or debuff other marches. So Thunder's debuffing other marches, Marco's debuffing other marches, Adut is buffing your marches with her Awaken skill, Eddie is debuffing other marches, Bodala has like the AoE one, or the AoE damage. Miyamoto's debuffing, so that kind of a thing. Like, so you really kind of just want to keep that composition of buffing and debuffing, since infantry doesn't have like high damage output. The best thing that you can do is continuously debuff the enemy marches to increase your damage output or increase your damage reduction to just kind of better your trades basically. Like that's what you're going to do. You're not going to out damage a ranged march, you're not going to out damage a rider march, but you can increase your damage reduction to where you take better trades in that sense. Yo, how's it going, Famous? So that's what I would do in this case. Other than that, you're doing really well. Your hones are really good. Your pairs are really good. You have a good synergy. You're using skill talent tree heroes in lead. Your vehicles are in a good place. Just get the last one to tier 3. Your armaments are in a good place. You're doing the right thing here. Like I said, I would just increase your gold ones to 5 pieces first before you look to try to replace these other ones. So really, like, this is probably one of the better built accounts that I've seen and headed in the right direction. I do see yours that you sent me. Elixir, if this is you. Yeah, this is yours. I'm going to do Brooks first, and then I'll get to you in just a second. Let me see here. So this one, infantry main player, they have Adut, Stella, Miyamoto, Eddie, and Robert awakened. Is a rally leader and field player, Stella, Eddie. And for field, 2 infantry, 1 rider, and 1 sniper. Okay, so they're using 4 marches in the field. 2 infantry, 1 rider, 1 sniper. Okay. So 2 infantry, 1 rider, 1 sniper. I'm assuming this is the filler one, if I had to guess. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it, 3.2, 4.3 rider range, and then here's kind of just the filler one. Okay, so, oh, no, sorry, this is theirs. I'm looking at the wrong side. But it's the same thing, filler. So, 2 infantry, 1 rider. Oh, you're not even using the 1 sniper on this one, huh? Okay, so, wait. So this makes it a little bit confusing. If you're going to advise that you're using like 1 sniper, try to send me a report that has like which, like one of your ranged armament sets too, so I know like what your ranged armaments are at. But I can still go with it. That's fine. So you're already okay. Wow, you're already pretty well set here. So you're definitely infantry main, that's for sure. Okay, so your protection's pretty high. What is your alliance? You're at 6.5 mil. So depending on what registration power you guys are at, so here's the thing I'm going to say about this, is that you're at 6.5 mil power, or I'm sorry, 6.5 bill power for an alliance. So the average firepower and protection is probably right around where your protection is at 1400 here. So your protection is about 20%, 20 to 30% higher than your actual firepower, which is good, because it's going to make it to where the enemy won't have the barrage fire effect as much on you. So they're not getting that damage bonus, which is nice. However, you're a rally leader, as you state, so you want to have that rallying into towers for your damage output. However, as an infantry rally leader, it is kind of more important to not be taking a lot of damage, especially with all the rider garrisons that we see nowadays. So you have gone the right direction with that. So the only thing that I would say for your garage is really that you can kind of go one of two ways. If you continue to see the enemy has a lot of firepower, or you continuously see enemies that have more firepower than this 1500 protection that you have, you can continue to grow your protection. And I would maybe do it in a sense that these are level 1. So I would maybe get these level 1 protections to level 5 or level 6, because you can do that fairly cheap. Let me see here. So like you can go from level 1 to level 6 protection fairly cheap in terms of materials, and or even level 5 fairly cheap, but it's 120 here. So you would get like a 240 if you were to just go from here to here and do that on both of them. You get a 240 protection jump, as opposed to if you were to go here and try to get a 240 protection jump from where were you at? I think you were level yeah, you're level 15. So if you're level 15 and you want to get a 240 protection jump in you would have to go to level 18, and the amount of resources that you would have to consume to go from level 15 to level 18, I would assume, is probably about 2 to 3 times the amount, at least, than going from level 1 to level 5 in the other two. So if what you are seeing as a rally leader is that your protection, or I'm sorry, that the enemy firepower is outdoing your protection at 1400, and the enemy garrisons are now instead getting the barrage fire effect on you, you could push this to 1700 fairly cheap. But what you could also do at the same time is that what I would actually recommend is probably just get all of these to level 5, because you could do it really cheap and get both of these values 240 increased on all of them. So this would actually push to about 1400, and this would actually push to about 1720. So that's one thing that I would do in your garage, is push those up. You don't really, since you did say that you're running a mix of 1 rider and 1 ranged as well in your field, it's going to benefit them in the base stats, but it's going to benefit your infantry rally, and if you are garrison as well, also. I am reviewing a person's account, Mitchell. So for I just, holy cow, there's 33 of you. I didn't even notice. I'm so sorry. So to kind of clue you guys in, For those that were in my Pompeii stream, I advised that I was going to be doing account reviews as a YouTube series. I have decided to move against making those as videos and instead making them streams like this, that I'm going to be making the streams not during event times. And the reasons why I'm going to be doing it as a stream as opposed to a video is that if you want me to review your account, you can send to me a report for your account. So what I'm requesting is you send me an active report of your arena with your armaments equipped and such. Send to me if you what your favorite troop type is, basically. So in this case, like an infantry main player, what awakened heroes you have, and then what role you play. Are you a rally leader for your alliance? Are you a garrison player for your alliance, or like a garrison leader? Are you strictly a field player? That kind of thing. And like, you know, how many marches of each type are you using in the field and such? If you give me that information, I can review your account and then, you know, basically lend assistance to you in that case. And the reason why I'm doing it this way in a live stream as opposed to a video is that if you have any questions throughout the process or anything that I can assist you with to help you understand the information I'm giving to you, then, you know, we can have a back and forth and more of an open forum conversation, as opposed to you just watch a video, I tell you information and you take it. Because if I just tell you that information and you don't really understand the information I'm giving to you, then we run the risk of you not actually like absorbing that information or really learning or grasping that information and moving forward. And if that's the case, then you haven't really learned anything and I haven't really done my job. So the whole point of this is to educate. So yeah, any questions that come up throughout this process, please feel free to drop them. But yeah, that's what I would do in this vehicle case. You already have a level 10, you already have a level 15. Push these to level 5 to get it like pretty much almost free. And I'm going to call it free because these are already level 10 and 15 and they're up there. So it's getting costly to get these pushed up. Since you are using one rider and one range in the field, you're going to benefit from the base stats. Huh? Sorry, one sec. Okay, just leave them there. You're okay. You're okay. Just leave them there. That's okay. You can finish them later. Yeah, you're good. You don't have to finish them right now. What's up? I don't want muffins anymore. I want those sooner. Okay, I'll get you some in a minute, okay? Okay. So yeah, you'll benefit from the base stats for your rider and your range in the field, but then you're going to benefit from the fire and the protection for your actual rallies and garrisons themselves, which you're an infantry main player, so something that's going to benefit bilaterally or just passively for those rallies and garrisons on your infantry is just something that's going to be nice. And like I said, you're going to get about 240 in total by pushing the protection and firepower on each of these to level 5. So that's what I would do, or 240 to each of these basically. So that's what I would do for garages. Now for armaments, looks like you got a 4.5 mil here. So this is a 5 mil Stella. This is almost a 4 mil here. 2 mil. Curious why you're running ranged instead of 3 infantry and 1 rider, because I don't even see your range one. You might have a pretty decent range set. So let's take a look. So you said that you had a Dut, Stella, Miyamoto, Eddie, Robert. So that's skill, 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 skill. A Dut, Stella, Miyamoto. I gotta write this down real quick. Holy cow, I have too many tabs open. Dut, Stella, Miyamoto, Eddie, Robert. Okay. Let's go back to your report. So, your Bodala is looking good. That's good. Marco's looking good. Louis. Bianca. That's decent. Robert, okay. So, you do have a Robert awakened, like you mentioned, and you also have an awakened Adut. So, what I would be doing here in terms of pairs, actually, is I would actually be... So, for one, I would be running somebody that's awakened as each of my starters. I actually really don't like Stella in the field all that much. So, the initial ones that I would be running is I would be running Adut lead, right? So, I'll do it as if, like, you know, it's my own. So for one of your pairs, you said that you have a Dut Awakened. And actually, let me do this. This is going to make it easier for myself. I'm going to take a screenshot of this so I can see like what you're running real quick right here. And then just put that on my other monitor. And then we're going to build out the marches. So, let's see. Oops, minimize my game. So for your marches, I would run... I would say, since you have an Eddie Awakened, let's start there. So I would say like let's usually run all, and you know what? Because he's not awakened yet, but run Bodala as a lead in one. Get Bodala awakened next. Run Bodala and Eddie as one march, because what you're looking to do here is this shield is going to break. Because you have Eddie Awakened. When this shield breaks, it's going to reduce HP. When this shield breaks, it's going to reduce HP. So run that as one march. You have Robert Awakened. Oh, actually, you know what? You also are running Bianca. Change your plans. Let's run Bodala and Bianca. This is going to be your buff march. You have Robert and Eddie. Robert and Eddie is just a solid pair in general. So run Robert and Eddie. Then you have Miyamoto, Adut and Stella, Marco, and everybody. Okay. So I would also run Miyamoto and Marco. That is a good pair. But you also said that you're running one ranged and one rider. So here's the problem is that I don't know what your ranged looks like. And when I was looking at your Bella isn't awakened yet. But you do have the armaments. Do you have... Okay, so I do have a... So, okay. This is kind of what makes it confusing on this one a bit, is that you're running a rider march, but you don't really have any... awakened rider heroes. And see, so here's the confusing part. Like Bella isn't awakened, and then her armament set is 1.7 mil, as opposed to like you have 1, 2, 3 infantry sets, for example. So honestly, what I would do, because I can't see your ranged armament set yet, and even without seeing your ranged armament set, you don't have Louis awakened. So like Louis really shines like once he's awakened, because then this range skill or this rage skill becomes like a full circle AoE as opposed to just a semicircle. So honestly, I wouldn't even be running a rider march or a ranged march until either A, this gets up to par with these like armament sets, or I end up having awakened heroes in that set. Because here's the thing. If I'm sending my heroes into the field and it costs me resources to heal my heroes, or I'm sorry, heal my troops when they go in the battle, if I'm taking 3-to-1 trades on average with this armament set and 1-to-1 trades on average with this armament set, like I would rather just send this into the field by itself and just keep fighting with this, let it die, resend it, and just keep taking those trades over and over and over. Like, there's no reason to send this, because the hero itself, like, the hero isn't awakened. If I had an awakened Bella, an awakened Elena, for example, or an awakened Felix, or an awakened Chasey or something, like, if I had an awakened pair, so, like, I'll just give you an example here as well. Like, I have Chasey and Bella that are awakened, and even though my armament set on them, like with my rider sets and stuff, isn't as good as like my ranged or my infantry set, it's just off of the fact that they're an awakened hero. But you don't have as great of an armament set or the awakened heroes. So really, in your case, what I would recommend, honestly, is like work on those heroes if you want to send a ranged and a rider set into the field. In the meantime, I would just send 3 infantry I would just send 3 infantry marches into the field. Don't worry about sending a range. Don't worry about sending a rider. It's totally fine. You don't need to send 5 marches into the field just because you can. And while you do that, you have Adut, Stella, Miyamoto, Eddie, and Robert awakened. So then what I would do is I would send, honestly, get your Bodala awakened because it's super close. Keep a Bodala Marco because this pair does ridiculously well when targeted. And then run a Adut Miyamoto because both of those are awakened for you. It doesn't matter who you have leading. One doesn't really do better than the other. And then the other one, just run a Robert Eddie. Where's it at? My Robert isn't awakened because I never really use him. And then this is what I would do. You have 3 great infantry armament sets. You have 3 solid awakened hero pairs. And just run this. If you wanted to swap out Bodala for Stella in the meantime and run Stella Marco because you don't have Bodala awakened and you do have Stella awakened, that's fine. I just personally don't like Stella in the field. That's just my personal preference because she only does well when she's targeted. And in this case here, like even when she's targeted, a lot of her stuff like relies on her being rallied. So I personally like Bodala better in the field. So I feel that Bodala and Marco does better. So this is what I would run in your case. I would just run these 3 infantry marches with your 3 really great infantry armament sets and do that until you have 1 solid rider pair. Just awaken your Bella because it looks like she's close. Awaken your Bianca because it looks like you're working on her as well, and that'll complement your infantry and all your marches also. And then get your Louis awakened also. And then at that point, you can either awaken a second ranged hero, or you can run like a Louis Bianca, or you can awaken a